Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Michael makes a decision after catching Drew and Willow again, and Holly prepares to leave town. Today on General Hospital, Holly is offered a ticket out of town, Alexis returns to work, and Michael discovers Drew and Willow together. On today's General Hospital, Anna visits Jason in her office and asks if he'd like to help her clean up the mess she's made in Port Charles recently. She informs him about the explosion and the jewels and wonders how long he has been involved in Holly's scheme. "I don't know what you're talking about." But before he can leave, Anna reminds him that they're far from finished. She assumed they were friends, and when he claims they are, she pleads for honesty. They both admit to keeping secrets from each other, and Anna laments their friendship. "Your loyalty to Sonny will always come above everything and everyone else." But she still wants his help in finding Valentine. "You'll have it." He tells her he'd be sorry if their friendship ended and then leaves. Drew knocks on Willow's door, and she says Michael is upstairs, but Drew knows he isn't because he saw him leave. He gives her the earring from their tryst in Scout's chamber, and she thanks him. Drew apologizes for her lies. He flirtatiously tells her that he notices her blushing every time she does it. Willow expresses gratitude, but asks that he keep his distance for the time being. "You're blushing," he whispers. Willow then informs him that he did not come to return her earring, and he too has a tell. He does not blink. Drew acknowledges that she is correct. He wanted to make sure she was okay. "That's fantastic," she replies, "but he should stay away." All she wants to do is stop lying to Michael, but she can't. Drew promises her that Michael will not find out about them sleeping together, and he regrets that it is causing her pain and that he has lost a buddy. She apologizes and asks how he and Scout are doing. It wasn't easy, but she was there for him when he had nowhere else to go. Natalia stands on the side of the road, calling for aid, stunned to learn that Christina is also involved in the incident. They settle on some pebbles near the accident and take stock. Christina apologizes, and Natalia assures her that insurance can handle the situation. Natalia learned about Sam, and Christina began to open up. Michael is over at Sonny's, talking about Sam and Dante. However, his primary concern is his marriage. He assumed their connection would always be pleasant and easy, but he is concerned that he is mistaken now. They are no longer a team and are unable to be honest with one another. Either of these. Sonny assures him that they can overcome obstacles, but just as Michael is ready to tell him more, his phone rings. Natalia calls and says she needs him. Christina is in peril. Christina discusses how she lost her sister and her baby, and how while she was in the cemetery, she realized she would never see them again. Ever. She thanks Natalia for being wonderful, but asks her not to tell her mother. She has too much going on. Natalia agrees, but adds she's already called her dad. "As a mom, Alexis will never not worry about you." Christina inquires about Ali's well-being, but Natalia responds that she has not yet phoned back. But she sees her out there, fulfilling her ambition. Christina promises her that her daughter will always love her, injured or not. She then claims that Sam was the stronger one, but Natalia insists that is not true. Christina is, too. Sonny arrives, and Christina, relieved, hugs him. Felicia discovers Sasha in a hospital room and asks her what happened. Sasha informs her about the kidnapping, explosion, and her mother. Felicia tells her she's known Holly for a long time and has seen the devastation she's done. But she's like family, and just as Robert is, so is Sasha. "We're all Scorpios, and Scorpios all show up for each other." Felicia wants additional information about what happened. It's a long story. Felicia maintains Holly is capable of deep love, telling her that when Sasha's mother lost Robert, it changed her. Maybe she handed Sasha to her grandmother as a reminder of what she had lost. Felicia knows Holly adores her, and is justified as her anger and worry are, holding on is depriving her from a connection with her mother. If she does not let go, she will later regret it. Felicia understands that she will always regret not being able to make amends to Georgie. A little while later, Sasha attempts to phone her mother at the Metro Court only to discover that she has checked out. Holly visits Brennan's office to get what I'm owed. She owes a large sum of money to a syndicate while freelancing for the WSB. If she does not pay, she will be killed, and the WSB will be held responsible. She needed the diamonds, and now she simply wants the WSB to pay her due. She owes them for saving her daughter, but she hopes that the next time they need someone with her skills, she is still alive. Brennan claims all he can provide is one-way travel to Lisbon. Tonight. She will take it. Brennan makes it obvious before she leaves that she owes him. And the WSB always collects, Holly explains. Mac rushes into Robert's office and demands to know what mess Holly has gotten him into. Robert inquires whether he is there as an officer or a member of his family. He is certain that the explosion is related to her. He has witnessed enough Holly calamities to know she is to blame. No comment. Holly is constantly in trouble, but Robert always makes an exception for her. Robert claims he has done enough to avoid judging her, and Mac has forgiven Felicia how many times? Mac acknowledges this, and he has decided to forgive her and spend the remainder of their lives together. Then you understand my position, Robert informs his brother. He has a new daughter, Holly is in town, and everything is okay in his world. Mac thinks it's time to get to the point, are Robert and Holly back together, and if so, where does that leave Diane? Diane rushes over to hug Alexis when she enters their office. I'm so sorry, she says, before sitting down and saying nothing more. She knows Alexis well enough to understand that she has to immerse herself in work, and that is all she will say. Thank you. But then Alexis starts talking about Sam dying and not being able to do anything about it. She can't stand being powerless, and her life is in ruins. She can't assist everyone her daughter leaves behind, just as she couldn't help Sam. Diane firmly informs her that there was nothing she could do. But she can and must take care of herself. In the show's concluding minutes, Sonny asks Christina what transpired at his apartment. She informs him that she was listening to a playlist Sam had made for her when she was in the hospital. She became distraught, started crying, and swerved into Natalia's lane. She was relieved that everyone was safe and that he handled the situation well. But couldn't he tell Mom about it? Sonny believes Alexis deserves to know. They are experiencing the same suffering and can lean on each other. Jason walks over to Brennan and asks where Sidwell is. He's been told that Sidwell would no longer be a threat to anyone in Port Charles. He goes on to say that the WSB has no idea where Valentine is and has no desire to find out. Don't help Anna find Valentine. It won't go well if it does. Holly goes to Anna and asks for aid. Robert informs Mac that he does not want to hurt Diane. She's a great woman. But she is not Holly. Mac believes that if Holly's lies about Sasha throughout the years haven't persuaded Robert, nothing else will. So he wishes them happiness. Robert explains that before he can consider their future, he needs to be honest with Diane. Diane tells Alexis that she is one of the strongest individuals she knows, and she only wishes she could help her. They then discuss work, and Alexis expresses gratitude to Diane for the pivot. Drew tells Willow that the night in the nursery gave him a glimpse of their future together. Willow places her palm on his face and reminds him that this isn't the life. Outside, Michael watches them before taking out his phone and calling Diane. I need to speak with a lawyer regarding my marriage. Before taking Sasha's x-rays, the doctor asks if she's pregnant. Sasha declines, flashes back to Michael and wants to avoid the x-rays. Willow recognized what she had done in the Quartermain playroom and was terrified. She lay on the floor with Drew naked after grief sex, knowing she had most certainly ended her marriage. Willow had a horrible expression on her face as she dressed. Drew told Willow that he understood it shouldn't have happened. Drew justified his behavior by claiming that he was caught off guard by Sam's death. Willow said they were both to blame for their frolic on the floor. There are two of us in this room. Willow remarked, we're both responsible for what just happened. She insisted that what they did would never happen again. I love Michael. Willow cried, "I'm not sure what I was thinking." Drew vowed to keep their sex a secret. Willow then said that she would exit the back staircase and return through the front so that no one would know she was ever with Drew upstairs. Neither Willow nor Drew realized she had left her earring on the floor. Brooklyn volunteered to be Michael's listening ear, but he was more focused on finding Willow. Brooklyn didn't know where Michael's wife was, so the subject shifted to Sam. They still couldn't believe she had died so quickly. Scout dashed into the living room, looking for Brooklyn, since she had a frightening dream. She tried to find Drew, but he was not in his room. Love General Hospital, B&B, Days, or other soap operas? Join the debate on our SC forums. Click here to interact with fans and participate in debates immediately. Willow sneaked in the front door to see Michael waiting in the living room as Brooklyn led Scout to the kitchen for hot chocolate. Willow claimed to have switched off her phone and not heard him text or call. Drew walked in next. Willow wrapped her arms around him, telling Drew she was sorry about Sam. Scout rushed into the living room, telling Drew she had an awful dream. Drew tried to console his daughter, telling her it was acceptable to be upset. Willow looked on in anxious awe, while Michael peered at her warily. Later, when Michael checked his phone, he discovered a video of Willow and Drew performing the deed in the playroom on their shared baby monitor app. When Willow entered the entryway, Michael hurriedly buried the phone. Scout asked Willow if she might help Drew tuck her in. Michael watched Willow, Drew, and Scout stroll up the stairs together, as if they were a family. Holly admitted to Robert that she had taken Sidwell's jewels when she fled Africa. Robert was outraged, but he committed to do everything he could to help her. Holly informed Robert that her hotel room had been ransacked. Robert suggested Holly return the jewels, but Holly refused. Robert asked Holly what she intended to do with the diamonds, but she refused to tell him. Holly urged Robert to stop Sidwell from following her until her Port Charles business was finished. Robert was frightened that Holly was preparing to leave town again. "I want to get to know my daughter, and I want you to be part of that," Robert told me. Anna burst in and broke the bad news to Robert and Holly. Sidwell was in Port Charles and kidnapped Sasha. Carly went to Brennan's office to inform him that Sasha had just been stolen right out of the Quartermaine kitchen by a man who instructed her to inform Sasha's mother that he wanted his diamonds returned. Carly described the man as being tall and muscular. Carly recognized Sidwell the moment Brennan gave her a photograph of the offender. Carly reminded out that Sasha's mother had died, therefore Sidwell's statement made little sense. Brennan summoned Anna to discuss the matter. Anna was astonished to learn that Sidwell was in Port Charles. When Carly told Anna what happened to Sasha, she was surprised to learn that Holly was Sasha's mother. Anna emphasized that their first concern was to get Sasha to safety. "I think I know where to start," she added. Portia met Lucas at the hospital and inquired about the status of Sam's autopsy. Portia did not have any answers yet. Brad overheard the talk but tried to stay out of sight. After Lucas moved away, Portia approached Isaiah to discuss. Portia and Isaiah moved their conversation to Portia's office. Isaiah was pleased to learn that Lulu was doing well. Portia asked Isaiah if there were any signs that Lucas had made a mistake during Sam's surgery. Isaiah insisted that Lucas did the surgery flawlessly. Portia stated she was concerned since Lucas did surgery on his sister, which is against protocol. Isaiah wondered whether Portia was looking for actual answers or a scapegoat. Portia stated that there was a whole different level of pressure for Dr. Jones when he was in the OR because he was performing surgery on his sister. In the lounge, Lucas sifted through his notes, looking for information on post-operative cardiac arrest. After his shower, Lucas dug through his locker and found a snapshot of himself and Sam. Brad went in softly while Lucas was getting dressed. When Dante arrived home, he heard a key in the door. He intuitively assumed it was Sam, but it was Sunny. Dante observed how quiet it was in the penthouse. Sam filled this room with love and laughter. "And now there's deafening silence," Dante added. Sunny tried to persuade Dante that things will better, but he was too distraught to believe it. "She provided a home for my son. She provided him a mother while he was lost. She treated my child as if he were one of hers. She invited us into her home to become part of her family. What will happen to my family now that she is gone? Dante asked. Sunny warned Dante not to drown in his sadness. Dante was concerned that he wouldn't be enough for Rocco, so Sunny reminded him that he had the support of his friends and family. Dante hurried upstairs to take a shower before Olivia arrived. Sunny offered Olivia an update on their son, mentioning that Dante was concerned about Sam's children. Holly tells Robert in the DA's office that she understands if he cannot forgive her since she is unable to forgive herself. She wondered if Robert would cut her out of his life if he couldn't get over the fact that she kept his daughter from him. Maxie and Spinelli toasted with cider because Mac had taken the kids trick-or-treating for them. Maxie assumed Mac would consider it a favor to him instead, and Spinelli assumed Mac would allow the kids significantly more candy than they would, but Maxie corrected him, saying it would be significantly more than I would. There was a knock at the door, and the two dashed out to give candy to trick-or-treaters, but a sad-looking Jason was there instead. In the hospital chapel, Rocco told Laura that Sam's death was his fault. She tried to convince him that it wasn't, but through tears, he asked his grandma if she knew what was on his mind when Lulu and Sam were in surgery. He admitted, if only one of them could live, I wanted it to be my mom. She assured him that was a natural reaction, but he believed that putting it out there in the cosmos made it come true. Sunny sat with Dante in the hospital and asked what he could do. I don't know, Dante replied, tell me how to live without her. Love General Hospital, B&B, Days, or other soap operas? Join the debate on our SC forums. Click here to interact with fans and participate in debates immediately. Meanwhile, Alexis was with Christina and Molly at Sam's house, and she was stricken with grief. They told her that everything would be fine, but she refused. She gasped for oxygen and cried, saying, I know I'm supposed to be comforting you right now, but I can't. I am really sorry, I don't know how. Robert began, out of curiosity, but Holly interrupted, that killed the cat, you know. He went on to question, if he never saw her again, would she stay out of his life? She inquired if it was what he wanted, and he said that there were times when he thought she was dead, and those were some of the worst days of his life. She understood, but Robert said he didn't want her to leave and wondered whether they could re-establish their trust after everything she'd withheld from him over the years. Drew entered the room where Scout was and inquired as to what she was drawing. She said that she was drawing a picture of herself, Danny, and Sam at the park, and he remarked it was stunning. He asked if she wanted to talk about her mother, if she had any questions or concerns, and vowed to always be honest with her. She inquired as to whether Sam was truly gone, to which he said yes and expressed regret that he had to say so. She does not want her mother to be gone. Carly inquired at the Quartermains as to Danny's level of productivity. He explained that Sam always segregated his Halloween sweets for quality control to verify that it was all safe to eat. He assumed she did it because she simply wanted some candy. Carly informed him that the dentist across from her always gave out toothbrushes, and Danny thought, that's just wrong. He divided the candy Scout didn't enjoy. Carly commended him on being a good brother, and he stated that Sam always said it was his responsibility to watch out for Scout, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Jason went into Maxie and Spinelli's house and asked whether the kids were there. Maxie recounted that they were out trick-or-treating, and when she inquired if everything was well, he replied, no. Spinelli wanted to take the conversation into his office, but Jason demanded that they both hear what he said. He informed them that Sam had suffered a heart attack, and when Maxie asked to visit her at the hospital, Jason told her she couldn't since Sam had died. Maxie was shocked, and Jason simply stated, Sam died. Dante asked Sunny if he realized Sam was the reason he was alive. They mentioned Dante's PTSD from his WSB mission and how she helped him put parts of his life back together. Sunny acknowledged that he couldn't get through to Dante at the moment, but Sam did. Dante claimed she was his true buddy, and Sunny added that it worked both ways. Dante said it took some time, but they eventually became each other's second chance. Sunny was relieved she got him through to the other side. Dante pondered who would do it this time, and Sunny said, you. Molly asked Alexis to tell them what occurred, but she didn't know. She was with Sam, who was okay but didn't wake up. The girls were grateful Alexis was with Sam in her final moments, so she wasn't alone. Alexis stated, "This isn't supposed to happen. I am not supposed to lose my children." The three hugged and grieved together. Holly assured Robert that she loved him and apologized for being cowardly about difficult discussions. She confesses to being afraid at the prospect of rejection. She admitted to lying to him or herself, but said it was not out of malice. Robert believed her. She reasoned that if he hadn't known about Sasha and the secrets she concealed from him, they might have been able to reconcile, but Robert responded that she would eventually have to tell him about Sasha. He stated that even if that happened, they would remain where they are. Holly also acknowledged that she expected to have to tell him and Sasha everything because they are both important to her. Laura informed Rocco that this is not how the universe works. It was tragic, but had nothing to do with him. He was grateful Mom always treated him like one of the kids, not like he wasn't her son. He explained that he and Sam had a secret handshake that no one else knew about, and Laura thought it was unique. They both agreed, and Rocco questioned how he could have had such bad ideas. Laura wondered whether Sam was present and what she would say to him. He replied that Sam would have claimed he had no influence over what transpired. Laura agreed and stated that Sam would not blame him, and he should not blame himself. Sonny told Dante that he was in a different place now than when he initially met Sam. Dante claimed it was because she helped him through it. Sonny stated that Dante's family was there for him. "It's a long list of people who would do anything in their power to support you," Sonny told me. Dante stated that it felt improper, and Sonny agreed. Sonny mentioned that Dante and Sam were very well together. Dante knew he had to keep going for the kids, but he was scared that after he left the hospital, he'd have to start over without Sam. But he doesn't know how to do it and does not want to be without her. Alexis reassured Molly and Christina that Sam loved them. Molly bemoaned that the last time they were all together, Sam fled because, despite Sam's good act of donating her liver to Lulu, Molly and Christina made it all about them. Alexis explained that they couldn't have predicted what would happen and that they should have no regrets, just do whatever they could to hold on to one another because the three of them are all they have. She stated that they will all love each other forever and never let go. Maxie believed it should not have occurred because Lulu's life was at stake, and Spinelli noted that the treatment was intended to be regular. Jason confirmed that she suffered a heart attack, and the doctors had no idea why. Maxie shed tears as she remembered texting Sam that morning and telling Georgie to preserve peanut butter cups to deliver to Sam after Halloween. Spinelli inquired as to whether the doctors were truly unaware of what had occurred, to which Jason responded that they were investigating. Jason explained that they let him see her after she died to say goodbye. Holly felt unhappy with herself for not telling Robert that Sasha was his daughter when she discovered he was still alive. He remarked, "Fear's a powerful motivator." Holly stated the longer she kept the secret, the more difficult it was to divulge. Robert explained that he understood her impulse, and she asked if he could live with it. He responded, "Could you?" Holly stated that the thing she dreaded the most over the years was seeing contempt in his eyes for keeping Sasha hidden. A flashback occurred in which Robert chastised Holly for faking her death, and she fled because of the contempt in his eyes. In the present, he reminded her that he forgives her for it. She expressed surprise, and he responded that if he forgave her once, she should have expected him to do so again. Carly asked Danny about trick-or-treating, and he acknowledged that, while Scout had a good time, he was concerned about Sam, who was in surgery at the time. He mourned that Sam hadn't seen Scout in her costume. But when they arrived at the hospital, he suspected something was wrong since Alexis was afraid. He noticed Jason had seen it and urged Danny to take Scout to Bobby's. Carly said it must have been difficult waiting, and Danny replied it felt like hours while he prayed his father would arrive and say everything was well. She questioned whether he was afraid because they didn't know what was going on with Sam, and Danny responded he kept things together for Scout. Scout eventually persuaded him to go trick-or-treating with her, and he was grateful for the distraction. He hypothesized that Scout couldn't even imagine anything horrible happening to her mother. "I knew something was wrong," said Danny. "But I never thought my mom could die." Scout asked Drew what would happen next, who would cook her lunch and drive her to school. Drew responded that they'd have to figure things out. He said that she needed to know she wasn't alone and that she was loved by her entire family. He mentioned the Quartermaines, Danny, Rocco, Grandma Alexis, Aunt Molly, and Aunt Christina. Drew agreed and informed her that she was surrounded by individuals who would go to any length to help her get through this. Scout indicated that she only wanted her mother, and Drew expressed his wish to bring Sam back for her. He stated that it would be difficult for anyone who loved Sam. When she inquired if he loved Sam, Drew said, "How could I not love her? She gave me the best gift in the world," Scout realized, and he promised to always be there for her. Scout sadly replied, "That's what Mommy always said." Spinelli couldn't accept Sam's death as true. He claimed she had narrowly evaded harm numerous times, causing him unnecessary stress. Until now, Maxie interjected. "I can no longer rely on her cool head to keep me focused," Spinelli remarked. Benefit from her wise counsel. Take on an inquiry or a caper. She couldn't take it when I called it that. Maxie said they made terrific collaborators, and Spinelli said she was an even better friend. Jason informed Spinelli that Sam loved him. Spinelli acknowledged Sam with being the first to give him a chance, and she even saw him. Jason stated that Sam helped him recognize Spinelli's potential and that they became friends because of her. "And mine," Maxie remarked, to which Jason responded that he still owed Sam 2 things. Holly claimed she believed in Robert but not in herself. She stated that crafting a con is an illusion that Robert said she was good at. She stated that realism was where she lacked. She wasn't made out for the daily grind. "Domesticity is not my strong suit," she admitted, explaining why she left Sasha with her mother while financially supporting them. Robert cynically stated that the money she provided them was legitimate, to which Holly said that everyone she duped out of money either had a lot of it or had done something terrible to someone else and deserved to lose it. "Most ethical con woman in the business," he jokingly stated. Holly confessed that when she found out Robert was alive, she didn't want to dump her mess of a life on his lap. She knew he'd help but was concerned about the expense. Danny was relieved Scout was able to go trick-or-treating and have fun before learning the horrible news. Carly congratulated him for putting on a brave front and making Scout happy. He questioned if Scout would ever have another joyful memory, to which Carly replied that she was confident he would. Danny mentioned that he used to enjoy Halloween, and Carly recalled that he was Captain America for 3 years in a row. He stated that even though he was outgrowing the outfit, he continued to wear it, despite Sam's constant purchases of costumes for him. Carly informed him that Sam knew Danny adored what he loved. He mentioned that Sam loved peanut butter cups and that he would always attempt to acquire extras for her. Carly hugged him. Because she knew Danny would not believe her, Carly chose not to tell him that everything would be fine, but that he had many people who loved him. Drew assured Scout that even though she couldn't see Sam, her mother would always be with her because love never dies. He told her to keep going, knowing Sam would never abandon her. Drew was delighted to be there, as was she. Laura informed Rocco that everyone had unpleasant thoughts and feelings, and when he inquired if she had, she replied that he would be astonished. He continued to beat himself up for his thoughts, and Laura said, "What we think and feel does not make us responsible for what happened." She said that despite the heartache and tragedy, Sam died for medical reasons unrelated to anything going on in his brain or heart. Rocco told Laura that he had now understood what she was saying, and she was relieved, telling him that what Sam did was magnificent. "She gave your mother the most precious gift ever, and that is how I will remember her." Rocco agreed. Dante told Sunny that he had proposed to Sam after she awoke from surgery. Sunny did not ask what she said because he already knew the answer. Dante began to tear up, expressing that he thought he had waited too long. Sunny questioned why, and Dante responded that they had everything, including happiness and a mixed family of children who adored them both. He reasoned that since they already had a family, there was no need to upset the boat. Sunny inquired as to what had changed, and Dante responded, "I wanted more, I wanted to make this beautiful human being my wife." He then stated that there was no longer anything, and it was finished before they could begin. Sunny placed his hand on Dante's shoulder. Jason hugged a sobbing Spinelli as he left the apartment. Somberly, Spinelli and Maxie walked back in, holding hands and crying. Alexis was returning to the hospital to see whether the physicians knew what had happened. Christina and Molly intended to accompany her, but Molly received notification that the meal service she ordered for Sam wanted to know the start date. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.